Yeah, there she is.
Okay.
She's the one. She was holding the basket. Just saw her.
Did you see another one like this? I quickly asked the man that guided me here.
What? Another?
Yes.
What do you mean? She's right there.
Uh,
Can't you see her? She's right there.
I can see her, but one that looks similar and also a basket, but it's different. Did you see another?
I'm
Similar
sorry.
but different.
I'm sorry. Oh, you're not talking about that one. No, not recently. I mean, there's lots of people carrying stuff around. Their houses were hit by the flood. I'm very sorry.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Um, I will, if possible, use minor illusion again. I will just put it up for you guys. Like so. Like so. And I will 60 feet up in the sky, right as big as I can in the 5-foot cube, Zach Rian, and then an arrow pointing downwards. And yeah, that's what I'll do. And then I'll stay within that area, but still start looking for the woman without asking anybody, but just kind of looking around, searching, checking windows of houses or the streets, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, you guys have went around each of you on your separate direction, and I understand that you all are doing an effort to do the same thing. So I am going to ask that each of you give me an investigation check. This will be a group check. So if half the group passes, everybody passes,
Ooh.
and the group effort passes. Because each of you are trying for a different lead, but all. Oh, that is very good. Very good one. I did very well.
Insight.
I'm just so happy to roll something above a 3.
I guess I need to borrow your guys' dice today.
That is
Yes.
investigation, not insight.
Oh, whoops.
Happens.
Luckily, my investigation is a -1 instead of a +2,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
exactly what I wanted.
Fantastic.
That's
Perfection.
that's two passes, two misses. That means half the group has passed, which means the whole group passes. That's how group checks work in 5th edition. Eventually, not one of you necessarily, but eventually, as you guys compare notes and you meet there, meet here, meet there, you all can kind of agree with the investigation conclusion that you can't seem to find that woman. You didn't pay much attention to that woman. And she seemed. Elisa has a better remembrance of her, and she was very typical. There is basically nothing special to describe about her. Absolutely nothing special to describe about her. And also, that description doesn't quite match to anybody that anybody could point out, because she was just there and just appeared to be a person. You see, a woman of more or less this height. I don't know the color of her hair. She was wearing I don't know, peasant clothing, something on her hair, carrying. She was all muddy, carrying a bundle, a large bundle with clothing. Does it ring a bell? People go, yep, half the town. And you guys can't seem to. But you also all come to the conclusion that may very well be the killer, because she was just there
Dang it.
when Alyssa turned around and she just pointed, and you guys didn't even and Alyssa and Spunkner didn't even consider at the moment. They didn't even consider to question that.
Damn.
But you guys can kind of come to this conclusion by yourself.
So
Yeah.
we know for sure that she was not the killer, or that she was the killer.
Not for sure, but that is a possibility. The dots connect that
Okay.
she could well be the killer that just bluffed past you guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right. Well, they told us that the body's going to the mausoleum, right? And that I'll have the arrow there for us. That we could use that. Maybe there's a clue, something that'll help us, and find the person.
Alright, players. With that done, now as a DM, I need to ask you guys what is the next step of generally what you guys want to do. Of course, you managed to head back to the carriage and get your things, and if you want, you can even manage to go to the tavern and get yourself some room. But what is the big general next step? Do you plan on following on this? Do you plan on asking things around? Do you plan on doing what you guys were asked to do here originally?
For me personally, as a player, right? Like, what would you like to do, or as in
Generally
character?
the
person?
group, the whole group. What is the whole group next point?
Okay.
All right. So I know that we initially came here to we had to find some elder at some point, and we had to obviously help out with something in the city, and I'm sure it has.
It wasn't just something. You are heading here to the village of Farah, on the orders of Knight Sable Bell, because there was the rebel was roused. Apparently, they had some sort of nonsense about a curse or something. Trees that woke up and ghosts of dead trees started attacking, and there they found bodies, and then there's evil magic, and they started pointing fingers, and they sent somebody here to see what was that about.
Yeah, so I don't know, guys. Like, it's all kind of connected to what we're doing here, so it might be worth just trying to figure out who or why the killings are happened, or why this murder happened, and it more than likely is linked to the rest of the nonsense we need to try and unravel. At least that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully, it's just like a lead, something we can use.
Yes, and you were in, and the knight suggested that you guys met with an elderman, Elder Baybrick, a member of the Devout Servants, that are the religious organization that controls the town.
Sorry, just to get that right, maybe I misheard. I have it as the Wild Servants. Is it the Devout Servants?
Devout Servants.
Okay, my bad.
Yes, we are a global organization full of strange accents.
Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of work to be found in the Kingdom of Dantal, where we are to meet Elder Baybrick, part of the Wild Servants, a religious group who controls the region and who actually live in the village of Fira to the northwest. And turns out it was never the Wild Servants.
You
I'm not sure
know
why.
so much better. than us.
Somebody. Okay, I don't have to write any notes anymore. I
Your
guess.
notes are
Thanks.
beautiful. Thank you very much, because I write down everything. I have notes for everything. You guys realize that you have so much freedom to do stuff that requires that I have so many notes.
Yeah, mine too. I literally have what you've written. Like, they are talk of ghosts, apparitions, and apparently the trees themselves have died and become flaming ghosts that haunt the forests at night. The knight himself also tells us that we will want to stay at the trading post, the Cleanly Fox in Fira. Cadron driving the carriage, and we are to act in the place of Sir Bell the Knight.
So when is the
Oh
book
my
gonna come out?
Yeah,
This is
wow.
beautiful. This is beautiful. You see,
Just
that's the point. And now I'll even mention the constable Ain Wintergrass, but the name was just rolled there, and that's probably the constable that Lord Vincent Gersuk was mentioned that he wanted to bring this story about killers here to the constable, and he just needed proof in order to be able to do that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I am happy that you took those notes. Beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
Main Wintergrass up there, the top two.
I am
That's so good.
incapable of taking such detailed notes. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I literally have just like Haunted Forest, Fox Tavern,
Yeah.
like you know,
Fox
bullet
Tavern?
points.
Bullet point. Absolutely.
I don't
And then I
even.
look
I
at them
can't
in 3
even
weeks
write
and I have
that
no idea what that
fast.
means.
I
Man,
have
Fox
investigating
Tavern.
rebels for a night.
I am very happy that you didn't write down Fox Tavern because the woman that was with the pimp, she's named Isabel Fox. And if you knew that, you would probably confuse her with the tavern.
Oh.
I Why did I
Mm.
write down the 7?
So, you guys
yeah.
plan on hitting the tavern, or you guys planning on doing something else, going after somebody? One of Vincent's men, he promised that after the body is taken care by the priest, he will make sure to save the arrow for you guys. He promised that.
Mm.
Because I mean,
One hour later
he
after that.
promised that in place of his lord, because his lord is very distressed at the moment, and you know, forgive my lord, basically is what he said.
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't think they're going to be doing anything with the body tonight. Perhaps we should just go and try and find somewhere to call it a night, get some sleep.
What I'd probably want to do before we head down for bed is to see, is there any place that they like congregating bodies as they're finding them?
Oh, the counting bodies, guys, the elves.
Are they like dragging them to a certain location where people can go to identify people?
That is a good question, because at this moment there aren't many people worried about carrying bodies right now and piling them, because they are more worried about saving who is left alive, people who are hurt, crying over the dead, and then the destruction, and taking stock of what they have left. If you guys remember, they had been suffering through famine and failed crops last season, so there's widespread famine and lack of food. One more of the topics of the curse that is being affecting the town. So they are more worried about provisions than really taking stock of all the bodies. But as you guys reach to the tavern just to find a place for yourselves, and at this moment the owner of the tavern isn't going to charge you guys for a place, because basically everybody that doesn't have a house or a house was destroyed or is just scared is invited to stay at the tavern right now. So there's a lot of people, basically refugees, finding a place on the common room where they can be, and actually not even on the common room on the second floor, because part of the common room on the first floor, on the ground floor, is underwater. So yeah, the water is that high, because it's very close to where the river was, one of the worst places, and it wasn't very high off the ground. Nobody was considering that one day the river would go so high up. They didn't consider that part. And asking a little, you guys can come to the conclusion that somebody will probably handle the bodies. You see, it's the passerby syndrome. Yeah, the authorities will do that, right? Somebody will do that. Not me. Somebody. And there's this mythical somebody. Somebody will. Somebody will. Somebody wasn't hit by the flood, and somebody will. So the authorities, probably the devout servants or members of the militia will take stock, and people are just waiting to be told what to do right now, which is a bit complicated because two of the people that have said they are pillars of the community are kind of in trouble. The elder Amy was hurt, but she will live. And then there is Lord Vincent that is very distressed now. We are not entirely sure who are the other authority figures of the town, but if you wanted to know, it's something you guys can research. That's for certain. Oh, what else? Some people will probably deal with the bodies, although some people have seen that there are a few neighbors that were trying to do something and recover the bodies of people that were buried or stuff like that. And yeah, about this wide cast question, MJ, I think did I get everything you want, or there is any specific you want to know, and any other specific?
If there's no particular place where they're gathering the dead, is there any specific station that they've maybe then set up for families to reunite, for people to find each other?
Basically, here where you are, the cleanly
tavern, okay.
box, which is get here, the cleaning box, who is owned and run by a person named. Now that I know one of my players takes very diligent notes, I'm going to say all the names. By Alexis Freeman. The Cleanly Fox is run by this man, Alexis Freeman. He is a dark-skinned human male, and he has seen better days, but he's just distraught. He has strong chest and arms, and he's very distressed by the fact that he couldn't find Valea, his helper and barmaid. He's very worried that Valea, something might have happened to her, because something happened to a lot of people. But in any case, he has opened his tavern. Anybody to come here. Anybody. He's offering what little he can. Basically clean water and a warm place to stay, basically for anybody that needs. So not only some people that don't have a home anymore are coming here, but other people that have a home are also coming here for the human contact.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to any child that doesn't look like they belong to someone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up in the growl and be like, "Are you? What is this child's name? Lucian. Lewis. Damn.
Little boy Lewis.
You wanna see if Lewis is among the child refugees here?
Yeah.
And I assume ask around about him. Well.
And I will join her just because of I feel more connected to that age group.
Yeah, and I'm probably 100% like terrifying children, like just sort of running up to them going, "Are you Lewis? Are you Lewis? Are you Lewis?"
Like
do you know where Lewis is? Tell me, I have candy.
Yeah,
Are you Lewis? Where's your mommy?
Bad
You wanna
advice.
get in my van?
Bad advice, Dave. If a stranger offers you candy, there's probably more in his van.
Drink bleach.
After a while of asking, you kind of get to realize Lewis isn't one of them. And eventually, noticing your efforts, the owner of the tavern that has kindly offered you guys to a place for you guys to stay comes to explain a situation, and Elissa and Spuckner together. So just so we can see the scene. What background things are Zeke and Aurelian doing right now? Background stuff. What are they doing?
Smoking, like just packing a pipe, just sitting somewhere busy. Like I'm gonna sit in the background smoking and probably trying to help someone with a wound that they don't want help with.
Excellent. Very good. Smoking while helping some people with their wounds. And what is Aurelian doing?
Aurelian will be, since we're just chilling in the tavern, assuming he can get his hands on some nice water to drink, he'll be sipping his water, and he'll have his little dagger out. He'll be flinging it around and flicking it into the wood, and then pulling it out and flicking it into the exact same space in the wood over and over again, just with precision, just staring intently at it.
Yeah, he needs some time off, and starting it's way past midday now. The sun is out and starts sending tones of orange everywhere. It's not quite late afternoon, but it's afternoon already. And oh, Jesus Christ, there's so much conversation going on. Oh, I'm not paying attention to any of this. Jeez, so much on the chat. Man,
Don't mind us. Just
Yeah,
carry on going.
yeah. All right. You guys can handle yourselves there. And if you need me, just call me. And the man approaches, and he has a cup, has two cups of water, and he hands one to Alison, and he offers another to Spuckner, and then he says, "Excuse me, don't let me interrupt you. I see you asking about child, Louis. Is that right?"
Yeah, do you know
think-
him? Do you know where he is?
Well, I do know about one Louis, but it's a very young child. I think it's a little more than a toddler. I think it's not the child you're looking for.
Oh damn, I did not get
This
a
is not the
this
child you are looking for.
Realizing that the only thing I took was this child's name and hoped it was unique.
We now know that, according to Elissa, you are only a child if you are between the ages of 4 and 7.
Right.
And the man says, "Dare I ask? That's somebody that you. This Louis is somebody that dear to you."
No, like we just got here, so like when ish hit
I
the
can see
fan.
that.
What
So
a
like
coinky
we're
dink,
not
as
Clearly
hardly
not
from
from-
just got here too.
but like we've made like acquaintances, friends, in the time that we've been here helping out. And so my friend Isabel, it's a boy that she was really fond of, and we're just trying to help her find him.
Ah. The man takes a step back. Ah. It's an that sounds okay. Okay, I see. But there's clearly more to the that he's not trying to hide, but he's not trying to be rude either.
I mean, like, do you know Isabel? She's like really great.
You mean
Not sure those are the words to say when you're talking about Brothel worker.
Oh my
Yes,
No,
god.
they stole
no.
people.
the choice
Sorry,
of words
almost
was
almost did a spit take with my cook there.
the choice of words was very unique, very unique. And he says, Isabel from the cat house.
Yeah, from the what's the place called? The Dancer's Skirt. She's like really sweet.
Yes, the war house.
Like she's still a person.
I don't doubt it, and I am. It is a person that is dear to me and causes no harm to anybody but herself. Um, there is no such a
Oh,
child.
that's great. So there's no such a child?
Isabel isn't quite good at her head in the past few months and years. She lost a child, an unborn, and she started has this fixation over a child that isn't right there exist, and nobody has courage to go against her because why would doesn't cause anybody harm. But I am afraid there is no such a physical child.
Oh, can I have an inside check? I don't believe him.
You don't ask for checks. You ask for what you want.
Oh. Do I believe him?
I do not believe him.
Do I find the story credible?
There doesn't appear to be malice on his tone, eyes, or even his breath. There doesn't appear to be malice. Either he believes what he's saying. That's one thing very, very important. I am not saying your character believes in him. That's for you to decide. But either he believes in what he's saying, or he is very good at pretending to believe.
Okay. So for like the general part, he seems believable-ish.
Not necessarily, but he believes in what he's saying. He might not be trustworthy because insight can't really tell you if somebody is trustworthy. But if that person believes what they say, that's what makes a great liar.
I hate him. Okay. Wow, so that's like super sad. Like, when did she lose the baby?
I don't know her much, but as much as I know, she decided to have a child 3, 4 seasons ago last year, and unfortunately it didn't work out. It was painful and traumatic, and well, I wouldn't know much if not for what happened after that. The child passed away very young. It was sad. Such is life. Such is life is precious and fragile. The baby
But I mean, like,
one
if
day the
she's
baby
like,
simply didn't wake up.
okay, but like, if she's hallucinating these things, right? Follow me. Should she be working at a brothel? I feel like she's being taken advantage of. I feel like her emotions are not in a good place. And like, is she fit to work? Is she choosing this work?
That I cannot say. I know that Isabel has been working at the cat house quite a long time, even before Ewan took the place over. I am not one to say.
Sorry, before who took the place over?
Ewan.
Oh, thank you.
Before
I'm
Ewan
not
took
gonna be
the
able
place.
to
So
answer softwards.
I am not one to say. I am sorry. Making your day even worse with this conversation. I hope you find what you came here. And he gives a polite, professional smile. You know that professional smile? This is the moment where I smile before I head off. Not because he finds anything funny. Just gives a smile and a nod. And unless you guys want something else, he takes his leave to return and help more people.
It stinks.
As much as the water outside.
Smells like deception.
There is people are eating, then they're eating what is there to eat. Fortunately, there's quite some grain and apparently a sense of community reached out, and people have this big cuts of how do you guys refer to pigs? And I mean, there's chicken, and related to chicken, there is poultry. So slabs of poultry and pig. What would be a similar word for pig?
Pork.
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 Yeah.
Okay. So this.
Although everyone knows that the only pork you eat is bacon.
Yes.
There are. This is very absurd because there is these big slabs of pork that isn't separated from meat and bacon, and they are being used for a very large soup that everybody can take instead of deep frying the bacon. This is absurd. You know, cooked pork, that makes no sense. Cooked bacon, this is horrible. Can you imagine the skin
cast fireball
all
at
flabby, all flabby and cooked instead of crispy delicious? That's what happened.
I'd like to take 5 emotional damage for watching this.
You can take it. You can take it.
I voluntarily take 5 emotional damage.
Yes, Aurelian, you have resistance with that because your character is clearly heartless. So you have resistance, you only take 2. On the other hand, Alyssa is clearly is not. So you take 10.
Alyssa passes out from emotional damage.
Yeah, emotional damage.
You'll feel hard.
And Vincent is just like, yeah, I know you've had a rough day, but where's the goddamn arrow?
Yeah. Vincent just saying, wild shape. I have a lot.
Yeah.
My
We're
animal
with
feelings
arrow.
don't care.
We're at this awkward situation where I'm just looking across at Spakner like, how do I get her attention? Spakner's just in her own world like, that poor pork could have been cooked so much better. Alyssa's like, I have my quest. I will find baby Isabel. And Zekran's just like, could you all shut up? Can we get the arrow? Thanks.
just picture me with like a slow zoom on my face. All the light around me slowly turns dark as you slowly see a single teardrop running from my eye as I sniff what used to be pork and is now just soup.
Now these people need to eat after all. And
Okay, let's move on.
people need to eat. Well, more questions. Ask me anything, guys. Things that you think your character could discover by talking to these common people. You have helped. So word has traveled that you guys came, just arrived and were helping. It's soon. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Before you guys ask things, I need to give you guys information about what happened. Apparently, like I said, I was talking about Valea. Valea, nobody can find Valea, and soon as afternoon comes and you guys are trying to rest just a little and talk to people, soon it is known that Olivus Shawn, the priest of the Tabernacle of Air, the local temple, and apparently the priest also passed away or was washed away. Last he was seen, he was on the grips of madness, screaming and being carried on a wooden door downriver. Nobody's seen him again.
Oh boy, that's not. good.
Also, the halls. What?
Sorry to interrupt. I didn't hear that first word. Something Sean?
Olivus Shawl.
Olivus. Okay, not Oliver. Cool.
Also, two houses have collapsed because they weren't built to handle what happened. Lots of people died, and one of the pillars of the community uh, also passed away. You guys soon discover that it was the house of Lady Alicia. She was apparently a plantation owner and a land owner in this region that on her farms, many people here worked on her farms. And the house that collapsed was hers. And there were apparently her and her visitors at the moment all passed away, except 3 people. Mrs. Amy Babrick, that was saved, and two children.
Ah.
Hmm.
So that was who was in the house that me and Zekran attempted to help. That was bombarded by an unfortunate cow.
Yeah, we tried.
Yes, apparently there were no other survivors.
So we find out that the house.
It's possible
We
that there
lost
were,
to a
but
cow
because of the surge
was
of water
Lady
and
Alyssa's.
how long it went on, people that survived the collapsing building didn't survive the wounds until they are jigged out because nobody found anybody else, and the place isn't clean yet, by the way. Well, that is sad. In fact, this lady Alicia, she was kind of a big name in town. One of the major roads in town is named after her. Alicia Road. Quite a few stores are there. She was one of the big names, apparently. Guess you guys don't know. Okay. Sorry. That was all the information that you guys that became public and you guys know without even searching for it. What else do you want to know?
All right. So,
I want to know the stuff we don't know.
Yes, just ask away.
Would you please tell me the stuff we don't know?
I mean, if I haven't
No.
wasted too much time talking to people about Lewis, can I then start questioning people about Ileana, the hunter, and what they know about her and the sort of person she is?
Eliana, all right, let's go. So many notes, so many. Eliana. Eliana Hall. All right. People can tell you about. People around her, most of them don't know much about Eliana. Apparently, she is a peasant and a forester, and lives by uh, by herself. Doesn't have family. She has quite a few friends in town. You a few things about her is that she was apparently quite friendly with Valea, and she also sometimes frequents the cat house. Nobody has seen her today.
Um, and then I'd want to know, like, what is her take on the like leadership positions in the town? That was she quite outspoken about her feelings about leadership?
You most likely would have uh, there is no public information about that. So apparently she wasn't very much outspoken about that topic. Uh, but what people are trying to help you here. Okay, they're trying to help because you guys are shown to be decent
Heroes.
people. I'm shown to be trying to help, but they are grasping at straws. But basically, the information that you managed to gather is that Valia probably knows more because apparently they are friends. That or Ewan, but nobody nobody knows her as a revolutionary, reactionary, or any of the sort. She's a very quiet woman actually. Very short, chubby woman, and very quiet and typical forester. Quiet people, speak softly, carry a big stick.
And then lastly, does anyone know if she shoots a bow and arrow?
Um, yes, she does. She is a hunter and trapper after all.
And like in that same breath, I'm gonna ask if like a lot of people shoot bow in the town, or if it's like more specialized.
I'm sorry. Say again. What is your question?
In the same breath, I'm gonna be asking people like if a lot of people in town shoot bow, or if it's not really something that they partake in their village.
There is a bit of a problem because lots of people do practice archery, not as a sport and not as a tool of war, but as a tool of hunting and fishing. So bows are quite common. Short bows, hunting bows, quite common in town.
I had one question, and I'm just wondering, with me being, a druid and one of the land, looking around, would I have noticed if the river had if there's any signs that the causes were unnatural or dark, or just particularly unnatural specifically?
What are you looking for? Just so I can guide a
Uh,
proper
Oh,
answer.
something like so some cause for the flood. Some kind of cause for the flood. If it was like, oh yeah, seasonal change, it's a
Okay.
seasonal flood, or oh, there's dark magic at play, or someone's messing with nature. You know what I mean?
Okay. What is your passive nature check? Or just give me how much is your nature
I've got a 4 nature with advantage.
with advantage?
Damn.
Yeah, I went full on nature. So hey,
Ah.
it was useful for something.
All right. For nature. So while you don't know just from what you've seen, you don't know what is the reason for the flood. By the level of the water and how it looks like, it's almost to you. It appears that this place was
What's that?
Hmm. There's a, there-
Basin.
Oh, they're my wee nature friends, spirits of the
Um,
ground, and
almost
speak
looks
to
like
me.
it was a river basin.
Okay.
So by the level, it's like the river was meant to be more or less this level in the past before being before there was probably a dam up river. You guys have heard that there
Yeah.
was a dam up river. So
Mm.
the past, very long past, and there's supposed to be that. So something happened to this dam, and it was all of a sudden because water just rushed in. With a 14, you know that if something, if some catastrophic damage would happen to a dam, then probably it would burst because the pressure of and strength of the your character wouldn't consider pressure, but the strength of the water
Yeah.
being released is it's huge,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
it
we
probably
felt that.
yeah it probably came crashing down river very very badly. If
Mm.
there were other fishing hamlets, not necessarily villages but hamlets up river, they were probably washed down. Animals, trees, and those who have decided to live close to the river were probably washed down as well.
Okay.
These people were lucky that their houses had a strong foundation, to be honest, because
Mm.
they lived close to the river, so they had stronger foundations. Because if they, the houses that didn't have were destroyed or washed. That's what you get by your 14 nature.
I see. So I speak to this the nature spirits, turn around and be like, I smell sabotage.
It's
There's
not out of the
sabotage
realm
afoot.
of possibility. The cause of for the flood might be, but the results that you can see here appear to be perfectly natural. If a flood were to happen, it would look like this.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So.
Any more
All
questions?
I want to know what he is smoking.
right. Oh, well, actually, if you get a little bit of the right, so you see these green leaves over here. They look a bit like a seven-leaf clover, but it's not quite a clover. Right now, you take those.
And as you guys are resting for the rest of the afternoon, eventually a few of the townsfolk there say that there is a man asking for you guys, and it's specifically they are this man is asking for the short gray uh gray skin and the Loscan and the gentle lady.
Yes, I'm out of it. I will keep my distance from the other three. Just like I don't know them.
Let me show you guys one image.
Is this the cliffhanger? I am afraid this is gonna be the cliffhanger image.
Yeah, this is the cliffhanger image. This is where it's gonna be like, and this approaches, and they
It's just
say,
like
There's
level
no
20
such a-
adventurer.
There's no
Next
such a
time
thing.
What do you mean?
Next time. Wait,
Oh,
will the level 1 adventurers be able to take down the Tarrasque? Will they fail? Find out next week on D&D.
Actually, you already know. Yes, they will fail.
Let me show you some.
Oh my god.
Get the image.
You have to have and not have luck at the same time. It took me a while to understand how to read that sentence. And I was gonna say sandwich, but you know, I don't read those.
It's
Or
the servant. Oh, it's Lord Vincent's servant. You are
the
around.
the
You are around
the
the
wild
table.
servants, or
Go ahead.
Do you mean like the? It wasn't called the wild servant, but it was the obedient servant, or what was it? Do you mean that one?
It was the burly one, the burly one with blonde hair and a very big mustache, like many of the men here. The one that promised that he would bring any arrow, and
Ah, okay.
he's a
Thank
man
you.
of his word. He is around. You guys are around the table as the man tells, "I am a man of my words. Uh, the the priest apparently is dead, so I ask my lord, get the arrow, and well, the arrow is gone."
Hmm.
And he,
Right.
One by one.
he looks a bit concerned, as if he's trying to come up with an explanation for that.
Mm.
The arrow
Let me think.
was right in front of my hands. These hands that be here, this very table, they were black as dark wood, with gray flashing, and I shit you not, they look like they were made of. Oh, for fuck's sake, is the word.
Made of hell itself.
No. Not yet. That one is two levels ahead.
Hmm.
No, just obsidian.
I remember. Thank you. I remember. Looks like the arrow. It was twisted, and I shit you not, it looked like it was made of wicker.
Oh, I'm gonna have to Google that.
Wicker.
Yes. And
That's a
when
good
I
one.
pulled the arrow, and when the healer pulled the arrow out, the arrow came brittle, and turned to dust. Ash! Right in front of my very eyes.
That is decidedly like unhelpful. I
And,
mean, like, I know it's not your fault, but like,
and a few people around here is scared. Oh, this village is truly cursed. The healer sent me, told me to give you this. Sketched it himself. And he hands over a small piece of parchment. The parchment's cut. Somebody cut a real scroll of something, cleaned it very quickly, and sketched something, and he gave the man so he could give you more or less a sketch of what the arrow looked like.
Oh, the image is loading for me. Ooh, oh wow.
And with
Can
that, we stop here for the session.
Wait, can I do one last thing? Can
No.
I try to? Oh no, but I wanted to help
You
the
can wait for
scared
next week.
people. Ah!
You guys went through 6 encounters, so you have the benefits of a long rest. Okay, for next session, you guys have
Only I'd cast the spell.
yeah. Yes. Many D&D players are very used to not using spells and resources outside of combats, because it usually only combats really matter. So my games aren't exactly like that. So if you guys think that a spell or anything is useful outside of combat, go ahead and use it, because it might as well just solve the adventure for you guys. But you managed to go through the 6 encounters, and which means you guys get your benefits of your long rest, which is full healing and recovering of your shit. And
my hit
also,
die.
and yes, and also following the typical guidelines for Dungeons and Dragons 5th editions, six medium encounters is enough experience for you guys to level up to level 2, which makes perfect sense here in the campaign. So you guys can level to level 2 by next session.
You just made somebody very happy.
Yeah.
I do expect that for next session you guys have a certain idea of what leads do you plan on pursuing. Welcome to Diego's campaigns. Usually this question will be made a lot. What leads do you want to pursue? Because somehow my campaigns always end up being looking like investigation series.
I am a
I don't
fan.
try.
I
I
am a
don't try
fan.
doing that. It just happens.
I just wanted to thank you for this awesome 2 first sessions, and also just ever so slightly be mad at you because now I can't go to bed before I have my level 2 figured out.
You have a whole week. So
No, it doesn't work like that.
for you it's pretty easy. There's not much that you gain at this level.
Fair enough.
Well,
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one. This one's been a big one, but yes, sorry.
I will close our streaming and our session for now. I will later upload our session to YouTube so you guys can look at it if you want to. And I'll see you guys next week. And of course, don't stop commenting on our group, and we can chat in there.
Yeah.
See you all.
Cool.